Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my new videos. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a couple DIY Dollar Tree projects. One is a Happy Easter sign and the other one is a spring floral arrangement, and I think that they both turned out adorably cute. So if you want to see how I made them, then continue watching. The first project I'm going to be showing you how to make is this Happy Easter sign. I love how it turned out, and I think it is perfect for any Easter decor. For this project, I'm going to be using these Dollar Tree carrots. Also, I'm going to be using this Happy Easter printout sign. I just typed out Happy Easter, and it's not happy, but it's hoppy, and I printed it out on paper. Also, I'm going to be using two of these Dollar Tree signs that were out around Valentine's Day that I bought. Also, I'm going to be using a ruler, and I'm going to be using some white chalk paint and black chalk paint. Even though I'm going to be using the back of these signs, I've removed this love burlap image and I'm just going to save it for later. And also, it had a lot of glitter still left on the back of it, so I took some sandpaper and just sanded off that glitter. That way when I moved my sign around, it did not have glitter fall out everywhere. I'm going to glue my signs together long ways, and the hot glue didn't work for me, so I am actually using wood glue on the long side of the board, and then I'm just going to go ahead and stick those two together. Obviously wood glue is going to take a little bit longer of a time to dry than hot glue, so just use whichever works best for you. So also I am going to take a baby wipe and wipe down that excess on both the back and the front side, especially the front side. I did run a little bit of hot glue down the back side on that seam. I wanted to give my sign a little bit of extra support on the back, so I'm using these little foam board pieces that I cut out. I had some extra from my New Year's Eve photo booth picture frame that I made, and that foam board came from the Dollar Tree as well. And I did fill in all four corners of my holes that are on my sign with hot glue, and then I just kind of used my X-Acto knife and kind of scraped off the little bit that was hanging over. That way it wasn't too rough when I painted my sign. And I did do this to all four holes. So now I am just painting my sign with my white chalk paint, and I did do 2 coats. I wanted my sign to look like a wood plank sign, but I did want my lines to be even. So here I am marking out the bottom of my board, the width that I want them to be, and they were 2.5 inches from the center mark, but the last marking was a bit wider. So I mixed together some of my white and black paint just to make like a darker gray color, and I'm using a sheet of paper to kind of guide my lines, and I'm putting those lines on those 2.5 inch marks that I laid out, and I'm not being neat. I am making them go into a straight line, but I'm not worried about them being very crisp because the sign's going to look a bit distressed anyways in the end. And now I'm just taking a small bit of white chalk paint on my brush and kind of running it over those lines that I just put in. This is just to soften a bit more so they're not as harsh. So now I'm going to take some of that light gray paint. So I basically mixed the white and the black together, made a light gray, and here I am dry brushing it onto my sign. I'm making sure that I do not have a lot of paint on that brush, and I'm just lightly dry brushing it on, making streaks, and this is going to make it look like it's a bit more distressed. The great thing about that distressed look is that you can make it as little or as much as you want. It's just basically your preference. So here I am just using a bit of my white chalk paint now on my dry bristle brush and dry brushing that onto my sign just to make everything a bit more lighter. If I do a little bit too much on my dark lines, then I can just go ahead and take some of that gray paint and make my lines a bit more defined again. But I really am loving how this is turning out, and I'm really excited to show you the rest of this sign. So now I'm going to take that printout and turn it over and put some chalk on the back side of it. You can use carbon paper if you want for this step, or you can hand draw it, but I find that this is just as easy. So now I'm just going to tape that printout onto my sign where I want it to go, and then I'm going to take my pencil and just trace out those letters. So here I am using my black chalk paint, and I'm painting in those letters. I am using some fine tipped paint brushes for this. You can use paint markers if you want. You can use a black Sharpie marker if you want. Just use whichever you prefer and which is easier for you. So after I have all my lettering on and I let it dry, I do take a baby wipe and wipe off all the green chalk that's left on my sign. And then I take my paintbrush and my paint and just go ahead and make any touch-ups that I need to make. So now I'm going to add my carrots to my design, and I just laid them out in a circle around where I want them to be hot glued. And now I'm going to take my hot glue and go ahead and glue them into place. So I think this sign is super cute this way, but I did want to add a little bit of twine on the end, so that is what I'm doing here. I know I didn't mention twine in the beginning of the video because this was a after thought. So I am just hot gluing it to the back of the sign, and then I'm going to wrap it around about 5 times. And I do this to both sides of my sign. So here's the finished sign, and I think that it turned out super cute. Let me know down below what you think and if you're going to try it or not. So next up, I'm going to be showing you how I made this easy but very pretty floral arrangement, and it will be perfect for spring or actually any time of the year. And I made this using all Dollar Tree supplies. So from the Dollar Tree, I picked up this glass votive holder or candle holder, and also this glass candle holder. I'm going to be using these gypso white flowers and also these baby breath flowers. I'm going to be using twine and white spray paint. Also, I'm going to be using this E600. This is not from the dollar store, and neither is my white spray paint. I'm going to start off by spray painting my glass candlestick holder outside. Okay, and now I'm going to apply my E600 glue around the rim of that candlestick, and then I'm going to add my votive candle holder on top of that. This glue does take quite a bit of time to dry, so it's not going to be like right away that you can finish this project. Now, if you use hot glue, then you could speed it along. So I'm going to add some twine around the top part of my candlestick, and I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue to attach it to and just wrap it around a few times. Then use my hot glue to just go ahead and glue off that end and cut off the excess. I did use this twine, and I went ahead and tied a bow out of it, and I'm just going to hot glue it on that twine that I put on there. So now I'm just going to take my stems and I'm going to trim them up with my wire cutters. And then I'm going to go ahead and just stick them in my new vase. So that wraps up my video today. I hope that you enjoyed watching it. If you did, then please give this video a thumbs up and also leave a comment down below on which one you might try. Also, if you want to get notified of when I post a new video, then hit that notification bell. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.